Yeah, isn't that interesting? I want to go to this scripture really quick. I'm just going to head there. Oh, it doesn't go there. I'm going to open up to Psalms 50. I'm just going to look at this word in context with the scripture here and notice what I see. So it says, these things hast thou done, and I kept silence. Thou thoughtest that thou was altogether, that I was altogether such an one as thyself, but I will reprove thee and set them in order before thine eyes. Consider this, that you forget God, lest I tear you in pieces, and there be none to deliver. Whoso offereth this praise glorifieth me, and to him that ordereth his conversation aright will I show the salvation of God. And it was describing the Lord's accepting our sacrifices, and if we have good conduct, then we will see the salvation of God, kind of how it's ending there. So if you're there with me, how could this represent, how could this description of order in the Psalms connect back to the ox? And as I ask you this question, and we're going to do this the whole time, this is just a chance for us to consider and ponder over how. We're exploring more. How could this relate? And if it does, great. But if it doesn't, it's not a big deal. We're just trying to consider, does this have anything to do with that ox principle? And that's what we're doing. We're opening our mind to the possibility and keeping that assumption door open instead of shutting. Oh, nope, it's done. I've got a definition. Now I'm moving on. That's not what we're doing. We're challenging. We're trying to keep that door open in our mind. Yes, Psalms 50. And it was right. I just went right from the dictionary, what it said here. So how could this Psalms 50, is it talking about anything with the ox relating to this order? Could this order that's talking in Psalms 50 relate to the ox in any way? And how? How so? How do you see it? That's what's fascinating about this process, is a very individual process of making connection. Is there any possibility? If not, we can move on to another situation. Thought. Okay. We could come back to that and consider it later if there is none.
Yeah, I've got a little idea.
Okay.
So it says, thou thoughtest that I was altogether such an one as thyself, meaning I'm a one, but alone. That I'll reprove thee and set them in order, meaning connected and strengthened by not being one or alone. That's just kind of a thought.
Yeah. Okay. So how do you
Yet
see
together.
that? How do
I
you see
see
that
the
connected?
strength coming from being, you thought the strength coming from not just being alone, but from being in order, being yoked.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying there?
Yeah. I love that. Good job.
And then if you forget God, though, you're torn to pieces. Then you're not in order if you forget God.
Yeah.
Is that what
Well,
verse 22?
You won't be strong. Yeah.
I see that.
If we're torn in pieces, we're not. That makes me think of the sticks when you put a bunch of sticks together, and you can't break them. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, I love those connections. That's that's awesome. And if you don't see something connected yet, it's okay. We're going to keep going, and then there's still time. And we're practicing. This whole class is we're practicing so that we can be independently doing this more on our own.